One, and thanks for attending our session today. 5 tips on how to get the most from Acrobat DC while you're working anywhere. So I'm Lisa Nide. I'm a Principal Product Marketing Manager, and I'm going to talk to you for the first few minutes around the value of why you need to understand the principles that we're going to be bringing you today and how this can impact you and your business. So whether you're the IT manager or director or whether you're an end user, you're going to find value from this presentation, and I just wanted to give you a little bit of information about that. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my screen share now. So as I mentioned before, we're going to be covering 5 tips from working from anywhere with Acrobat DC. So the first thing that we're really going to talk about is why this is important in the context of today. So we know that hybrid workforce is becoming the new normal in a post-COVID era. So we know that we had to make a lot of changes in order to make things work during the COVID era, but we're seeing that some of those changes will be impactful going forward. We know that digital workspaces, meaning working across devices, time zones, and locations, is going to continue to be more important than ever. And a shift to reliance on cloud managed and based connectivity of our devices and services is going to be essential. So work is not going to go back to the way it was pre-COVID. And Acrobat DC gives you the greatest flexibility and a secure PDF solution to offer to your employees, or if you are the employee, it's going to give you the greatest flexibility and most security in your work. So let's take a few looks at some trends that we found from IDC. So this is from an IDC study that happened in February of this year. And what they asked in the question was what work practices and technology advances were going to emerge post-pandemic that would continue to endure. And this is really the things that I set up in the previous slide, that they would consider the fact that remote and hybrid work is really going to become more of the norm for everybody. 44% of the companies said that. And then using digital workspaces, working across locations, time zone, and devices, tied at 44%. So these are going to continue to be trends that we see people using, as well as the shift to the reliance on cloud managed and based connectivity of devices and services. So we can see a number of the things that you've probably been doing day to day for the past year are going to continue, and that you're going to need to support people in the office and some people that maybe still be working remotely for the near term future, and that they're going to need to be able to work with multiple devices and being able to be connected and be productive wherever they are. So now let's see how Acrobat is going to fit into that world. So some of the things that we'll be going over today. Acrobat DC will enable your teams to work across the desktop, mobile, or web. And this is only possible using Acrobat DC, not the perpetual version of the product. The perpetual version of the product does not support services, therefore it's tethered to the desktop, whereas Acrobat DC allows you to work across all surfaces. So we'll be demonstrating what that looks like. We also provide the best-in-class PDF tools for remote collaboration and review, which we saw on the previous slide that collaboration is still going to be key because people are going to be working between people that are in offices and remotely. We've greatly enhanced this feature with Acrobat DC, and some of you may not be aware, we've even brought collaboration to where you're seeing a lot of your employees are over in Microsoft Teams. We know that there's some 145 million Microsoft Teams users per day, and we've now brought our collaboration tools inside of Microsoft Teams, and that you're able to use that because of your Acrobat DC subscription, which really makes it convenient. People can work directly in Teams and do their collaboration. The third item that we'll be covering today is the ability that you need to protect your digital documents. Working remotely does not preclude the fact that you still need to have security in your documents, and you need to ensure that all of your workers are having that correct security. Fourth, we'll cover going digital and staying digital and what that means in terms of forms workflows. And then finally, our last area that we'll cover will be the extended functionality that you can get with some of our mobile apps. All of our mobile apps can be managed via enterprise mobility management, so you can have control of this as well, but this really can extend, of course, beyond the desktop. And some of you may not, some of you may be using Acrobat DC and may not be aware of all of these features. So hopefully the demonstrations that my colleague is going to be showing us, Lori DeFurio, will be showing us a demonstration of all of these things, will help illustrate how you can get more value from your Acrobat DC as well. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to our moderator, and then we'll be having a demonstration from Lori DeFurio. Thanks so much.